Hi everyone, my name is Israel. I'm doing this video for my literature class. Um, in this video I'm going to talk about a book that is called La Frontera, The Borderland. But to be more specific, I'm going to talk about chapter number 5 of this book. Okay, chapter 5 is one of the, I would say, is one of the most important chapters of this book. Not saying that the book's not great, but this chapter for me is the one that it is a great piece of art. The title of this chapter is called How to Tame a Wild Tongue. Cómo domar la lengua salvaje. But my thesis will be specific on two things. The first will be how the First Amendment was violated, how it shows on the chapter that, as well my second object will be to show you how this can affect the childhood identity. But before that, I'm going to talk about just a little bit background about this great writer. Okay. This writer, her name is Gloria Anzaldua. Okay, she wrote this book based on her childhood experience at the border between Mexico and Texas. She born on this town called Harlingen. It's between McAllen and Matamoros. If you're familiar with this, pretty much this region. Unfortunately, she died. She died on 2004 in her house in California. But let's go back to our subject. I want to talk about, like I said, the First Amendment, how this was violated. And how on chapter 5 you can see that. And one of the, I would say the most important piece of the chapter that shows that is when the teacher asks this little girl why does she speak Spanish, and the girl get grounded just because she was speaking Spanish, and that's violating the right, that's violating the right of a kid by not allowing her to speak Spanish or just to say what she really want to say. As well, she got grounded because when she was told not to speak Spanish, she tried to defend herself in Spanish, and the professor, the teacher, told her basically that she was misbehaving, and she got grounded again. Also, the pressure that her mom put on her by telling her, you have to talk this way, you cannot talk with an accent, basically like I do, okay? Her mom, her teacher, the whole system, was pressuring her, telling her you cannot talk this way, you cannot have an accent, you have to be an American, you have to talk like an American, and if you want to have a better life, okay? So freedom of speech, where was that for this young girl? There was none at all. So based on that, you can tell that there are so many times, violating the First Amendment. Now, how can this affect the identity of a child? In this case, and in so many cases, on this case, thanks God, it was in a positive way, She got all the negative stuff, and she was able to turn all this negative experience in a positive resolution. So it is, in this book, she got all this negative stuff and put it in this book where makes her point, and allow other people to realize, that this is wrong, that this shouldn't happen. But unfortunately, in other situations, for example, in today's day, Also, a few years back, how many Hispanics that they didn't speak English and they tried to learn their language, English, of course. How many of them they were discriminated? You know, how many of them they were treated different just because they had an accent or because they were not able to speak Spanish, well, English in this case, in this situation, English, the way they were supposed to do it like in America. What happened with us? Well, it happened that a lot of them had problems of their identity. A lot of them, they had dreams, but they decided to drop from high school. Some of them decide just to go the easy way, which it was go and work, you know, with their father, their parents, to the factory, you know, to follow those steps, and not follow the dreams that they want to be better in life, you know. They were persuaded to not follow that by people that tell them, you know, don't talk like that, or, you know, you're not the same of us, because that's basically what you do whenever you violate their expression, you know. Because if it was one of you or one of us, you would not allow that to happen, you know. Because you don't want yourself, you want to limit yourself. So why would you limit somebody else? Okay. So unfortunately, like I say, that is the effects that are happening now on these days, and that we have to understand not to violate the First Amendment to anyone, to a kid. Let's allow them to express themselves. Let's embrace their actions. You know, we are Americans, and if we are Americans, we should know where we came from. You know, we came from different cultures. We came from Europe. Mexicans were already here. Native Americans already were here. You know, we all Americans. We have different accents. We have different religions. We have different beliefs, and we have one thing in common, and that is our First Amendment, freedom of speech. And I believe that if we respect that, we should all be able to reach our dreams, you know, and reach our identity. We will be able to know who we were, you know, where we came from, and as well who become to be an American, a true American.